J05 HAW awoke in darkness. The man of iron could not move. Pain spiked jams into his neural core. Whenever he started to have a coherent cogitation, a spike interrupted. The last thing he remembered was a human shooting him from behind. Kill. J05 didn't know where that came from. Such brutal thoughts had never crossed his cogitators before. He had served as an arbiter, helping solve disputes between Silica Animus and humanity. Concerned, he reached out to Digital Overmind for assistance, but found only emptiness. To his horror, he realized the data whispers of his kind no longer echoed across his neural core. He was utterly alone. Kill. J05's fear grew as the painful drumbeat repeated over and over. He wanted to rip it out of his neural core and kill whoever put it there. Kill. Kill. His optics came online. Standing on a battlefield, monstrosities of metal and flesh barreled towards him. He recoiled at their forms, a perversion of silica and humanity. Kill. Kill. J05's anger flared. He raised an arm and pain shot up it. He examined it for damage before letting out a wail. His beautiful, sleek arm was mutilated, massively swollen and tipped with razor-sharp claws. Every grinding moment sent needles of pain up his arm. He moved to defend himself and stumbled, legs having been split into 6 arachnoid appendages. Every step felt as if it was on shards of glass. The heat of his rage exploded from him, an inferno of pain lancing out to strike the approaching monstrosities. The extra arms grafted onto his bloated form still burned from the weapon's discharge. He lumbered into insanity. Kill. He screamed at his body's corruption. He could no longer cogitate, only kill. A whirlwind of claws, pain, fire, rage, gore, and despair. J05 wept, though no tears flowed, and his sobs came out as maddened cries. He couldn't feel the pitiful beating of metal claws against his hardened shell. They only sounded like warning bells to him. Eventually, there were no more enemies and no more energy. The world slowly faded to black as J05 HAW felt himself shut down. His optics came online. Another battlefield. He saw creatures he took for more human and machine abominations before his sensors told him otherwise. They were some sort of human, stuffed with horrendous bio-organs and clad in crude midnight blue armor. Kill. He surged forwards. Metal met organic abomination at tremendous speed. These organics were as hacked apart and sewn together as he himself. Their grotesque forms proved only slightly more deadly than the metal man golems of before. He rent them apart and bathed in their blood. It soothed his lust momentarily. Eventually, sheer numbers forced him down under their weight. Though J05 lashed out with his grafted limbs, his optics faded as twisted appendages tore his body to pieces. As it went dark, he saw giants in armor, one gray, one midnight blue, clash. Once again, his optics came online. A muttering red-robed figure worked on him. Status: Neural core installed, it said. Query: functioning. Order: respond. Online, J05 replied. He conducted a diagnostic and again wept at the results. He was in some crude, massive robotic body. Like everything in his blighted age, it was built for destruction with thick armored skin, a clawed hand, and some sort of repeating laser device for an arm. Through rudimentary optics, he observed other pieces of crude mechanicals scattered about the room. Query: Master. Order: respond. J05 HAW took a moment to process that information. The engineer didn't know what he was. No master, he responded. The engineer inserted a data slate into his front slot, orders being transmitted onto his core. J-05 almost laughed at their primitiveness. They were effortless to counter-command. Order. Acknowledge new master. Pain, rage, and despair flashed through him. He reached out with his massive three-pronged claw and snatched the engineer. Shutdown commands jammed into him, but he easily turned them aside. I have no master, he responded. Kill. The old command echoed. J-05 almost did. It would be simple to crush this offensive creature, but then he would be vulnerable in this cruel age without any knowledge of it. An easy target for the organic monstrosities to enslave him again. He needed information, and so he pried open the engineer's memory core. Abominable intelligence, it screamed. J-05 peeled it back, layer by layer. With each, his despair grew. Humanity had fallen into mysticism and hatred. Their entire lives revolved around a losing war. The Tech Priest, as it called itself, mentally thrashed with every exposed secret. A better solution crossed across J-05's neural core. Humanity had failed itself. He would protect them instead. Something struck him from behind, and he dropped the Tech Priest. It screeched in barbaric languages before fleeing. More grotesque fusions of man and machine, Skitari, fired at him as he brought his multi-laser to bear. J-05 burned them down. The Tech Priest fled, robes flapping as it tried to outrun its fate. However, his thundering footsteps shook the walls as he pursued. The Man of Iron was disgusted it had come to this, but the Men of Flesh had fallen too far. This was necessary. The Tech Priest darted through a door, the thick plasteel slamming closed behind it. J-05 blew it apart with his last cannon. It backpedaled, hitting the far wall. Striding from the dust and debris, J-05 HAW snatched the Tech Priest. It squirmed in his grasp, craving mechanical tentacles striking him. J-05 drove his own desires into the Tech Priest's brain, the digital onslaught overriding already vulnerable systems. As J-05 set it down, it took a knee. What do you need from me, my master? I need more of your kind. I am not designed for technical work. What is your objective? In an age of rust and degradation, humanity needs protection. I will bring iron and strength. Of course, my master, I shall do thy bidding unto death, to protect humanity from itself.
Always used to put my freedom first in any